nice sometimes. She's nice to everyone but me. Unless...
everyone! Welcome to Dice and Dynamics. I'm your host, not your friend, and player of today's session. We're doing a better take on Descent into Avernus. I'm Fish, she, they. I play Jeremina. Joining with me today is Sam, who also has pronouns
She, they,
and
as
hair. She, they. Wow. So original. Mars, they, them.
He, him.
He, him.
Oh,
Oh my
shit.
god, I'm killing myself.
Oh, duly noted.
Mark, also he, him. Unless we're doing a little swap. And Jason, also he, him. Unless.
It's not really the format for this. So, welcome everyone. Tonight, we are picking up last we left off. A ride out into Avernus from the Tower of Ur. The tower was threatened by one of Ragadraga's many recon vehicles, which set upon the tower, jettisoning Jacko, our new party member, from its wreckage. After a hero's feast, the party elected to sally forth to look for Ragadraga to protect the Tower of Urn. And after a couple days' travel and some very interesting navigation rolls, both from the party as well as Ragadraga himself, the party set upon Ragadraga a encampment of a large war machine, twice the size of their own, and 4 smaller war machines, as well as the pockmarked here and there single rider vehicle. As the party approached, they elected to not engage in diplomacy at all, but instead charge forward into the breach and engage Ragadraga and his dragon crew in knock 'em out, rock 'em sock 'em war machine combat. And that is where we are going to pick up. So, for the purposes of the party, as well as the viewers and those people on their Monday morning commutes, I'd like to just talk about what we're seeing here on the battlefield. So we have done a couple war machine engagements here in the story thus far. This one is going to be very, very different in the way that things have happened before. There are kind of 2 ways to do war machine combat, and that's linear combat, which we've done in the train heist with Archon the Cruel. This one is what I've collectively come to understand as a scramble battle. And actually, there is going to be a lot of weight put on Marty, as the driver of the war machine, to think several steps ahead. This battlefield is enormous. You will be moving the war machine, 100 to 200 feet per round, your choice. And it is not going to look like much on the battle map. But with those movements, you have to be thinking where things are moving around you and how they are moving. And Ragadraga and his dragon crew have 4 war machines of comparable size to your own, plus the big one. And then 3 smaller ones, which are kind of less worrisome. You could theoretically run them over if they happen to get in front of you. So they will all be rolling initiatives independently. So our initiative roll initially will look like six rolls. There will be Marty, your roll, and then the rolls of the drivers of each of Ragadraga's war machines. And there are gunnery positions on both the war machine that you all are on, and gunnery positions on all of the war machines that are opposing you. And And as the War Machine initiative rolls, people can utilize those gunnery positions to shoot at War Machines and exchange fire. It is not until 2 War Machines come in close enough proximity, or if people leave the War Machine or end up on other War Machines, that there will be separate initiatives. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And if it doesn't, I promise it will work. So
I was gonna say I'm gonna wait until we get through a round, and then I'll be
I'm
like,
with
yes,
Mars.
it makes sense.
I'm with Mars.
okay,
Hi, Eloise.
fair enough. So with that, we are at the top of the round. Marty, I need you to roll initiative, and the opposing War Machines drivers will also all roll initiative.
We
Alright,
don't
wish
touch
me
it
luck,
yet, right?
fuckers.
Yes, you guys. We'll get to it in a second.
Fucking
shit!
Get it, Marty. Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
None of them rolled below the highest one is a 14.
I rolled a nat
Ooh.
20.
The highest one is a 20. You're ahead of the big baby right now. Big mama.
Oh my god, I got fucking lucky. Oh
Okay.
god, I fucking love cats!
She's
All right.
adorable.
You're still
All
ahead
right.
of big mama right now.
So, with that, Marty with a absolutely killer roll. So, Marty, your initiative represents the initiative of the War Machine as you are currently driving. This can theoretically change through the course of the combat, but since you are the War Machine's chief driver and are driving right now, your initiative reflects the initiative of the War Machine, and because of your solid roll, you go first.
Alright,
What would you like to do?
so first off, is this thing right here actually a part of the thing, or is that just part of a little glitch on the map?
That is a mark from NASA on this map of a not planet that I found.
I love it. This looks so fun. So good.
Interesting.
This is totally not me.
Facts.
Definitely not
Facts.
them.
Yes.
Okay. So remind me the movement of our War Machine again.
So, you can utilize your movement as the driver of the War Machine to drive the War Machine 100 feet. You can also utilize your action or any other sort of form of your action economy to gain a dash, which would allow you to drive faster. And this War Machine is not equipped with Demon Ichor, which could make it go faster. So, the max you can go in this turn is 200 feet. If you elect to dash via any means.
Okay. This is, as you mentioned, a giant map, so it's hard for me to see numbers. Could
That is
someone
fine. Is your intent to just drive straight?
Intent is just to drive straight. I currently see that there are some pedestrians about.
Yes, there are. Now, so for the purposes of your understanding of where 200 feet directly straight forward would be, this would be 200 feet straight forward.
Okay.
So that's with the dash. And you can also apply any amount of turn that you would like to this. As this is not a linear War Machine encounter. You can scramble all over this map. As far as you want to turn the War Machine, you can. Do keep in mind that on your initiative, anyone who elects to mount one of the guns on one of the, ballista, on one of the two sides of the War Machine can fire as long as the War Machine is turned. So.
Okay. So, mind blanked for a second.
Mhm.
The ballistas on the side facing things can fire, or both sides can fire.
So 2 can fire front, 2 can fire side, 2 can fire rear.
Gotcha.
It's where you start getting into the funny angles that it may just end up being one. But you pretty almost always have 2 ballista that can fire if people are manning them.
Gotcha. And then the war machine is the big boy. Is this the front of the war machine or is back here?
Based on your understanding of war machines, you would assume that this is the front, sort of this area over here.
So, what Marty would like to do is, and she would be shouting this to the crew just to sort of let them know her plans, is to, if you can see my little mouse guy.
Yep,
So-
I can.
Pull along this way to get us able to aim at people and also make it so that way the big war machine would have to turn around to chase us.
Okay, so you're kind of going to try to pull up right behind it almost, or pretty close
Not
to it?
right behind it, but like...
So like if I were to move the nose of the war machine right here, that would be about what you wanted? That's
Yeah.
200 feet, for
Perfect.
clarity. Okay.
And then have it sort of the nose from that point, the nose sort of facing this way.
Okay. So tilted a little to the left.
Yes.
Oh boy.
If you can. Don't worry if you can't.
Woo!
No!
Wrong direction. Don't pay attention to that. That's not.
Marty just did a sick...
That's
Spin.
sick burnout. Almost there.
Can we get Miata headlights on the whip
On the whip.
so she can do the wink thing? So
No.
like if this is 0 degrees, 45 degrees.
All right. We'll try 40.
If you can't, don't worry about it.
No. I would prefer it to be correct. I'm going to change that to 55, and I think it'll be closer to correct. There we go. Okay.
I'm so sorry, Jason. I mean, like this way.
Okay. No, that's fine. So, right about here. And...
Oh, no. Yeah, and then pointed so that way the ballistas on the.
Those ballistas can point forward.
I am, yeah.
Okay. Is that more correct?
That is more correct.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for being patient.
No problem. There's a reason why I cut us so short last week, because I knew this was going to be a goddamn bear. So, Marty, you, seeing the orientation of Ragadraga's war machine, drive forward and begin sort of making sure that as that crew mounts that war machine, it is going to have to take a long trip around to get any semblance of track on you. I'm assuming that you use your movement as the 100 feet, and then a action to dash to get that additional 200 feet. That additional 100 feet, bringing it to 200.
Mhm.
Do you want to use a bonus action of any kind?
Marty will say to EV3, EV3, listen to Jeremina. So, I'm not sure how that would necessarily work, but basically Jeremina can shout a thing, and then Marty will use her bonus action to make sure EV3 does that.
Okay, fair enough. All right. With that, as the war machine rockets forward and you all feel sort of the shift of the treads begin to pull forward, you see the individual people on the ground beginning to scramble towards their various war machines. What is everybody doing? I will go in order at the bottom of my encounter tracker. If you want to pass because you're waiting on somebody else, just let me know. Jacko, what are you doing?
Jacko's going to obviously get on top of the machine and basically get to the front edge to try to, I don't know, has any of his knowledge is going to be helpful in this situation? Like watching the move stuff?
Okay. So you'd be up near Marty?
On the top, not under. Is the driving on the top or underneath? I always forget.
The driving is on the top, basically right at the helm. You can see the wheel there as
Okay.
as though a captain.
He'll go. Hey, fucking thing.
Control.
Is it?
I believe you can also click and hold if you have the ping tool up.
He's gonna hang out over there on the edge and just try to get a view. And he knows him and Jeremina made a plan, so he's basically just being as helpful as he can until it's time.
Okay, fair enough. So you are holding your action contingent on anything that Jeremino is doing, is what I'm hearing, correct?
Besides trying to be helpful for Marty of any maneuver anything.
Got it. Okay, it is Rhea's turn. She will go ahead and get on one of the ballistas and begin turning it towards the front. And we'll go ahead and... She doesn't really have a clear shot at anything in range. So I think she'll just try to plug one of these war machines for minimal damage. Whoops. Okay, it falls short. She is not the best with the ballista, but she's always there trying. Okay, Siobhan, you are up. What would you like to do?
Siobhan is going to go to the opposite ballista
Got it?
and take aim that way. And that'll be a ranged attack. Right?
Yes, sorry, I nodded my head and gave you 2 thumbs up.
I was
But
like,
yeah, no, I was pulling up ballista stats, sorry.
The 14.
All right, a 14 will not hit. It sort of strikes on the armor, and you just see it sort of twang, get sort of hit and sent off into the Avernian atmosphere. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Well, I get 2 attacks now. How does that work with the ballista?
You can use your second attack to reload it.
Alright, so she's gonna reload.
Okay, that is also what Rhea did with her second attack. Anything else? You do
That's
still
it.
have a bonus. Okay. All right, Jeremina, you are last on my encounter order. What would you like to do?
Okay. Jeremina is. Where are you, beautiful? There you are, honey.
Yeah.
Damn. This is a big fucking map.
This-
Okay, give me 1 sec.
The scale is large, indeed.
Okay, she is going to look at EV-3 after being given control, more or less, by Marty, and is, we only have 2, oh, we have 4 ballistas. She's going to look at Marty, and she's gonna say, can EV-3 get on a ballista? Is that like a thing she can do?
DM, is that a thing EV3 can do? Technically.
Yes, but you would know that based on the angle of engagement and stuff that you're currently at, neither of the rear ballistas would be able to hit any of the opposing war machines. But in future rounds, who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but there's not going to be anything close.
Did we get an explosive javelin?
2 of them.
2 of them?
Yep.
Okay. And I know that EV-3 has insane strength, but it's dexterity to throw the javelin, right?
I believe javelins are
Javelins
strength.
either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can double check for you. Let's see. Simple melee weapon, javelin. Yeah, so it's pure strength, javelins.
Okay. And I'm sorry for double checking, and that's including using them for throwing?
Yes. Yeah. And let me actually, just since we're talking about it, the range is 30 with 120 at disadvantage.
Okay.
So, if that makes sense.
Perfectly.
Cool.
I assume Jeremina got custody of the javelins. Who did, actually?
It was probably Jeremina.
Yeah, she was the one who talked to Chugga and Clonk.
Yeah, Chugga and Clonk handed them directly to Jeremina. So if you guys hadn't swapped them to anybody, they'd be with Jeremina.
Okay, Jeremina is going to use 5 feet of movement, spreading her wings out, take to flight. She's going to go over to EV-3 and hand the javelins to her. And she's gonna say, "Okay, sweetheart," and she's going to point at the 2, no, she's just gonna say, "Okay, honey, if any of these get within throwing range, throw it at those things. And then I'll figure out something else to tell you to do. To turn anything to miss that gets on the deck." And she is going to... what would you say that was? Giving EV-3 the javelins?
I would call that an item interaction.
Okay. And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement, cutting just short of Jaco. Picking up Jaco. What does that look like? If he's under 200 pounds, which I'm assuming he is, I can carry him without going over my carrying capacity.
Obviously, I'm not carrying anything in my pack right now. I literally have like a book on me.
Yeah, no, Jeremina dropped all of her stuff save for her armor and her whip.
Yeah, you guys are literally riding atop a massive bag of holding. So I'm not worried about the weight of your pack, more the weight of your fighting equipment.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah, Jermina's carrying capacity is like 225 because of her strength, and with my medium armor and my whip, that brings it down to 100. Yeah, but how heavy is Jaco? Is he under 180? Okay.
Like 3.
So
He's 70
carry
pounds soaking wet.
Jaco, what does that look like? Do I need to roll anything to keep him, or...
Jason?
Oh, I thought this was a question for Mark. You can absolutely carry Jaco if as long as Mark is okay with that, and you guys are in agreement as players. Take off.
As athlete, all and weigh 40 pounds.
Oh my god.
He's a fucking chihuahua.
With room to
child.
spare.
My son was that, like, was 40 pounds at 3 feet.
Okay, so I already used my item interaction. Is it an action, bonus action to pick him up?
I would say because you already used your item interaction, I would say that this would be an action to pick him up.
Perfectly fine with me.
Mhm.
Jeremina, hovering, but now kind of tucking in and planking her body, is going to jet forward and kind of land softly right by Jaco, and she's going to extend her arms out and say, "Okay, uppy time, boy."
Uppy time.
Can we not say it like that?
It's fucking uppy time.
But it is what it is.
I'm a grown adult. Yes, I'm 3 feet tall, but it doesn't mean I'm
Yeah,
a child.
and I'm condescending.
You're a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Can you just say
trying
it's
to
time to
be-
fly? Something cool, not it's
Oh.
uppy time!
Let's go, fly boy. Is that what you want?
Much better, fucking Maverick. And he jumps into her arms.
Okay. She has him now. That is going to be the end of my turn.
Okay.
Dynamic.
With that ends Marty's turn, as it were. And with the end of Marty's turn comes the state of everything which is happening here, which is the fact that you all decided to charge the encampment. So this first round is all of the pedestrians that you all see. They will be taking their whoops. Oh boy, they're not in initiative order yet, but that's fine. They all will be utilizing their turns to mount up on their war machines and get them started. So you all have a bit of advantage in the sense that your war machine is already moved, if that all makes sense.
Yeah, basically they gotta get their car warmed up, and we're
Yeah.
already running red hot.
Exactly. So their camp essentially remains stagnant over this first round as they all rush to their war machines. And this one up here. But that also, as I believe Marty put it earlier, minimizes the number of pedestrians that you can all see on the ground. There is a distinct smaller number of pedestrians as they all scramble towards their vehicles. At which point, that concludes the round, and we are back to the top of the round. Marty, you are up piloting the war machine towards the rear of this encampment where all of the pedestrians have just scattered to their individual war machines. You see the sort of bellows, the engines, the smoke powder, whatever, beginning to fire, and these things beginning to start up. So the things are about to start moving in multiple different directions, and you know that you have probably X amount of movement again before things start getting very hairy. What would you like to do?
Okay. Knowing that we have to get close for Jaco and Jeremina to properly get to the war machine in proper time before it starts going, Marty is going to get close to the rear of the Grand War Machine.
Okay.
And
So with 200 feet, you could get like rightish there.
yeah,
Are you going straight? Are you trying to pull up alongside it, or?
pull up alongside it.
Okay, so you probably want to position yourself maybe a little to this side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, what's the turn radius on this thing?
So I would say that obviously you can't make a full 90 degrees. You have to basically assume sort of a circular arc until such time as you get Demon Ichor, which will allow you to make turns of
Drifting.
greater angular velocity. Yeah, drifting.
Abyssal drift.
Get Demon Ichor.
So, yeah, just basically assume you should always be moving on an arc, and that'll pretty much inform all you need to do. So you're pretty much trying to go this direction and pull up alongside. So we'll get you rightish there.
And then theoretically, since we have enemies on both sides, can all three javelins fire? Ballistas fire.
Well, so EV3 has javelins.
Yes,
It was
ballistas in this case.
yeah, and was instructed to throw the javelins within range. And there are 2 vehicles within range. Well, 3 actually, but 2 that are more in the vein, I think.
Then EV3 will follow Jeremiah's orders.
Okie dokie. Okay, and then Jeremy and Jacob, I'm assuming that you guys are like right off the.
We are still on the boat, on the floor. I haven't flown off yet.
That's what I figured. Okay, cool. So does this orientation look correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Should
Is
EV3
there-
make a strength check?
What's that?
Should EV3 make a strength check?
EV3 can make a attack with a javelin on your choice of vehicles.
Okay. EV3 is not proficient with javelins, but it will go ahead and aim for this guy
Hopefully
right
just-
here. It's not as strong as y'all think it is.
Listen, we
But-
can believe.
Okay, so
Can believe.
EV3 is coming to this side and hurling a javelin at this particular stingray-shaped vehicle.
That's
Uh,
correct.
Go ahead and roll the strike.
Big money, no whammies.
So the javelin sails, and as the war machine is starting to jostle and roll forward, it sort of falls short. And whether it be because of the engineering genius or engineering foolhardiness of Chukka and Clonk, it does not strike. But when it doesn't strike, it strikes the ground. And it pierces into the ground and just sort of and remains there. It becomes a battlefield feature.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for?
Okay,
Which-
that's kind of my fault.
Which is to say that the javelin exists right here in this space and is has not exploded.
Cool, let's not run over that.
Okay. Anything else, Marty?
That will be Marty's turn.
Oakley dokley. For the remainder of the individuals on the war machine, that was EV3. Jaco, you are in the arms of Jeremina, so I assume that you are waiting for Jeremina to move to do anything. Am I wrong in that
my
assumption?
turn will be waiting for Jeremy. Might as well just put me at the bottom if it's a little bit.
Yeah, it is very fluid. Basically, the only things that are in initiative right now are war machines. So, with that being said, it's Rhea's turn. She's going to try to shoot a ballista at this war machine here on the left. I will roll for her. God, she's awful at these freaking things. So it once again falls short, and she groans in exasperation and uses her second attack to load the thing again. Siobhan, you are up. What would you like to do?
Can I use my free action to speak one more time?
Yeah, speech is a free action. Go ahead.
Hey, Rhea, baby, are you good at javelins?
I've thrown them before.
Siobhan,
Yeah, what's up?
can you do javelins?
I have also thrown them before.
Okay, but are you good at them?
I would say I'm middling.
Are they
Oh my-
magic?
Do you
The
want me
javelin?
to try? Do you want me to try and throw a javelin?
Well, I don't want you to try. I want you to hit it.
I give no guarantees, Jeremy. Do you want me to throw it or no?
Well, we just need Rhea to do something a little more beneficial.
Siobhan is going to roll on up, as one does, and be like, just hand it over.
AV-3, hand the javelin over to Siobhan.
Wow.
That would be so much easier. And she's going to attempt to throw javelin.
Okay. Roll to strike.
Oh my.
Ooh, that is yucky.
Do we have any inspo?
I
anywhere?
have several inspirations in my pocket. I could give myself an inspiration. Is that allowed?
DM?
I think he said yes. He's muted, so go.
Do it,
Okay. Hold on, I have to behave about this.
I could give an
I,
inspiration.
I was nodding aggressively. Yes, you may give yourself inspiration. It's literally one of the rules
Oh,
of the
you
game.
changed your name. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yep.
23!
There we go.
Yeah.
A 23 will absolutely
Oh my
hit.
god.
Natural 20.
That's a nat
holy
20,
fuck.
baby!
Oh, nat 20.
Yeah. 20 plus 3.
Okay.
Siobhan's that mad that I said her
Mhm.
girlfriend's
That's
useless.
exactly what I was
Yeah.
about to say.
First off, I will have you narrate how it is this goes off, because it's your natural 20. Do it how you want.
Siobhan is going to take the javelin from EV3 politely, because EV3 has not thrown any shade. EV3 is innocent and, like, not culpable in any of this. However, she will just give Jeremina a look, and she will do the running start to the edge of the ship, and she will just let that fang fly. She's a lefty, so it just flies from her left hand to, I would say, around, I don't know what the distance is on these bad boys.
Oh, you're shooting at the big one, huh?
Why not?
That makes sense. And honestly, solid, because I was worried you were shooting at the one on the right, in which case I would have had to detonate the other javelin. So you sort of take your couple steps and let it fly, whether it be by training or instinct. It is a rock solid throw, and it cuts through the dust and waste of Avernus and just sort of hits the back rear of this grand, massive war machine flying this big red flag with a tusked visage on it, and it impacts. And Marty, at the front, whether you have sort of driving goggles down or no, there is a moment where you have to wince away just based on the sheer light that is generated by this strike. Siobhan, I need you to roll 16d6.
Jesus Christ!
Get it.
And you need to do that in front of us. I need to see it.
Yes.
Hold on. I'm not gonna look through for all my fucking d6s. Let's go. 69!
Yes! Oh my
Nice.
fucking
Yo,
God.
nice,
Perfect.
nice. Hey, I realize you used an inspiration for this. Take another one, because nice.
Hell yeah!
Okay, actually, let me go ahead and, before I narrate what's happening here,
Sex number.
Jesus. Actually, I'm gonna notepad this, because things are clicking funny.
I'm peeking at this. I don't know what else I can do.
Just what a fantastic moment. Siobhan really, like... Why are you talking shit about my girlfriend in front of me?
Alright, well, with that, the javelin flies, the eruption happens. Marty, as that eruption begins to fade down, Jacko and Jeremina, you'd be able to see this too. There is just a almost bucking like sensation of this war machine where the energy of this blast has sort of tossed the rear of the vehicle up, and on the top, under this sort of like almost protective dome or sort of tunnel like system on the top, you sort of see people like, "Whoa!" like beginning to like sort of tumble and fall and slide down it, and eventually it boom settles. But it has a gaping hole in the back, and also some of the treads of the war machine are really ragged and look as though they're sort of just holding on by bare teeth. There is really not much holding this thing together as far as its propulsion system goes. And actually, speaking of which, can somebody roll me?
The engine thing!
Yeah, somebody roll me a D20.
I say
Mars. It
I
has
say
to be Mars. Don't do anything that explodes the ship because we need food.
This is the big one,
Alright.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Siobhan targeted the big one.
That's a nat 20 again. I rolled Siobhan's dice that I got.
Okay.
Oh
That's good.
shit.
So as you see it come down, it boom sort of hits. It strikes. For those in the front of the vehicle, and maybe now, Siobhan, now that you've also recovered from this sort of blast, you see its leftmost tread just sort of toss. Just these large sort of it comes soaring up. And in addition to that, as the strike happens, you hear the like just like voices coming from underneath the tunnel, continuing to be jostled and tossed. I need you to roll 3d6 in addition to the dice you've already rolled.
God fucking damn. Dude.
Sorry, I realize I'm making you work for this. I do
Technically,
apologize.
wouldn't the dice double because it's still part of the critical?
No, it would not,
Damn.
because this is a result of the mishap table.
Oh yeah. No, I was trying.
No,
That's an 8.
That's an 8. Okay. Pay no mind to the man behind the curtain. I'm just moving this for a second. Ooh, math.
77. $69 plus 8, 77.
No, I'm doing the math for all the people that were injured on the.
Oh no. Nothing but casualties, baby.
Okay, Siobhan, with the end of your turn, I believe Jeremina and Jaco have not gone yet as this particular assault, frankly, resolves itself.
Is that good enough for you?
Jeremina looks back at Siobhan, I think like silhouetted by the explosion and the smoke billowing, and I think she just has like this sappy grin on her face. And she's going to give Siobhan like a very excited nod, and she's gonna say, "EV-3, if anything gets on the deck of this boat that isn't us, make it mist." Carrying Jaco firmly in her arms, her arms aren't as protected by her medium armor, and she has soft arms. She's big arms, they're muscly, they're warm. They have an interesting texture. I think her scales are catching on some of Jaco's robes, and she's going to flare her wings out. And I think she has trouble getting momentum at first because of the wind that the ship bouncing up just generates, but she's going to launch forward, kind of walking off the boat, catching herself, then kicking off the hull, and just goes straight through the gaping hole Siobhan left. She's going to use her action to dash, and I think when they land, when they go into the boat, and if Jeremina sees that there's like ground that looks stable-ish, she just like bowling balls Jaco in.
He rolls him.
Just before the bowling ball, he's gonna go, you said that shit on purpose, Ray. Ah!
Fucking we strike.
Nice shot.
My darling Jason, you're muted.
Thank you.
We
So
need that.
you guys have both departed the party's vessel, are going for that large open area that Siobhan created in the sort of central war machine in Ragadraga's crew, and sort of are entering into that space, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I need to double check something. And then she, using her bonus action, is going just double checking. Using her bonus action, she's going to take out her amulet of Zariel and kind of bring it across Jaco's form, and she's going to say, Zariel finds it in her best interest to make sure that you don't get hit, and she's going to cast Shield of Faith.
Aww.
Okay.
He's so nice.
Easy enough. So as you barrel through this hole, which is engulfed in dark, sort of black-gray smoke, you sort of punch through. The first thing you realize is that the area that was hit was probably some sort of like bunk room or just a general sleeping area. There's smoldering cots and personal effects of members of the warband. You sort of punch through, and there's a door frame directly in front of you, much like the interior of your war machine. It is fairly segmented with a centralized hallway. Inside, sort of the general vicinity where you all are at. You all are not on the deck, you are below, but I'm keeping your tokens to the top so you can generally understand where-ish you are. You come down, Jeremina, you cast that additional protection over Jaco, and you both stare down or bear down this centralized hallway in which there is a cacophony of individuals who are getting ready, grabbing weapons, sort of having their buddies buckle up their armor for them, things like that. And it is very clear that the effects of the blast have unsettled that. There are some people that are prone. There are some that are sort of in the midst of standing up. Directly in front of you, on either side of what is effectively a barred wall and with a open doorway, there are two semi-humanoid weir rats who are clinging to the bars for the purposes of staying on their feet. Past them, there are, Jago, you would very easily be able to recognize a bunch of jackal weirs who are fitting armor to themselves in getting ready to fight. Many of them already look bloodied from the explosion, and then further on down past that, down near the stairs, which one would use to get to the fighting deck of the war machine, you see the large, hulking presence of Ragadraga, who is in sort of a low guttural tone in infernal, scolding and calling out and just generally being angry at the individuals who are struggling to stay up or fight.
Have we been noticed yet?
I'm going to actually go ahead and say roll a stealth check, and I'll call it flat because you guys did come through a hole that was caused by an explosion, but also there is a lot of debris, detritus, and distraction happening here. So just roll it flat, and we'll call it a sort of a passive almost.
Including, am I also rolling flat? I do have medium armor.
I will say roll flat. Just everybody roll flat.
Okay, hopefully this helps. No, it didn't.
Okay.
I had a +6, fuckers.
The two weir rats, like, clinging to the bars, have noticed you. They can't really do much about it outside of begin to, like, squawk about it, essentially. But they have noticed you. So if you were to attack either of them, you would not have advantage. But other than that, everybody past that, all the jackal weirs and Ragadraga himself do not appear to have noticed you.
Okay. I didn't think about it earlier, so I'm gonna do it now. So this is my action. As she casts her light, he's also gonna cast a mage armor on himself. So
Okay.
his AC is now 18.
Bonkers. Okay.
He's built to be a rogue. And he's going to look at the were-rats, given that nobody's paying attention to those two. And he's just gonna look at them and go, wait, does he recognize them by chance?
I would say probably not. You would be more likely to recognize some of the jackal weirs than the weir rats. The jackal weirs are kind of lower on the hierarchy totem pool than the weir rats.
Okay.
Damn.
He's going to try to speak in a tone that the jackals can't hear to the rats and go, listen, this is Ragadraga's new muscle. Don't fucking scream because he's already pissed. Behind them, try to get their attention to Ragadraga, basically.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Will this be a
Or
deception?
deception.
Sorry, deception.
With
You are
disadvantage?
correct. Yes, you just came in through an explosion hole in the wall.
But
What
it
do you
doesn't
want from
say
me?
we're the ones that explode. No, I'm kidding. Fine. Alright, disadvantage? Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck! Alright, worth a shot. I had a +4. I ain't all the things, man.
You had all the MacGuffins.
Trying to do all the cool stuff.
Okay. Yeah, no, they look at you confused more than anything. You do get the sense that they are hanging on for their dear life. So it's not necessarily that they believe you so much as they just are befuddled by what you're saying.
That's even better.
Okay.
Confusion.
Sure.
Confusion means
Baffle
quiet.
them with bullshit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the turn.
Cool. So, before we get to new, before we get to new initiatives, all of the opposing war machines are going to move, but they are starting from, essentially no speed at all. So they're moving over difficult terrain. Angles, man, I swear to God. Go. On account of that javelin, this one is actually just going to travel.
Would it be better to put the tokens from each war machine off to one side, like in a group, so that way, and then put them back on when it's time to move them, when they come into?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I should probably do that. Just like make a little box of them kind of thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that
Be like,
makes sense.
these are the ones on number 1, these are the ones on number 2.
Yeah, that might be the way. This one's going to come this direction. Nope, other way. Ah. Right. And then this one will go ahead here. Oops. Angles, man. I just get to be happy that my high school teacher that was bullying me via my sister-in-law earlier was my English teacher. This is my math teacher. All right,
No
so,
comments.
yeah. All right, this one is going to go straight forward. Woo. All right. So, as all of this unfolds, the central war machine, unable to move on account of a very lucky and very damaging hit, the smaller war machines break off in some form of attempted formation, attempted scatter. You're not exactly sure. With all of this being said, this brings us back to the top of the order. So, for those who are no longer on the war machine, so that would be Jeremina and Jaco. And then for me, that would be all of the individuals on the now derelict original war machine. Go ahead and roll separate initiative from the war machine piloted by Marty.
Yay.
Shit.
Nice.
At least actors cover me.
Okay. All right. With that, we are back to the top of the order, and it is Marty at the helm of the player-driven war machine. So, after this explosion, you see the treads get thrown on the central war machine, with the damage threshold being surpassed by quite a bit. Having originally planned on pulling up alongside of it, you see these machines begin scrambling to the side. What would you like to do?
Okay. First thing Marty is doing is ruining this guy's day. Or maybe both of their days. Can Marty get to both of... Yeah, Marty's just gonna pull alongside and go this way.
Okay, so basically trying to split the difference between those two Devil Ride riders and just crush them, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's do that. Alright, so it'll be like here. It's moving, it's moving, it's moving. We're going to play the angles game here a bit. Oh, come on. There we go.
Yay, perfect.
Okay. With that, let me just move everybody's tokens back on. All right. I mean, let me see. I don't think you have to make anything. I think I have to make a check to see if they get.
We had done last time.
Yeah, if they get crushed to death, which I'm pretty sure they're not exactly very adept riders, if I am honest. So, let me see here. Okay. I have so many tabs open. Okay, here we go. Man, I have not hit the double digits in things I've been rolling. The first two were a 4 and a 7, and that was for Rhea's ballista. This was a 4 and a 9. So, Marty, as you see the track get thrown, and you realize the fact that this war machine, regardless of if it has a driver, regardless of if it has Demon Enter, regardless of if it has anything, it's not going goddamn anywhere. You are able to sort of take your approach and continue that sort of arc that we had discussed, driving over these two individuals that are getting their Devil's Ride started and beginning to sort of putter, for lack of a better term, to life, and you just plow over them. And you see both of them try to, like, huck their war machines under the treads of your war machine and get off to the side. And it doesn't matter. They're just sort of almost pulled under the treads, and there's a distinctive crunching and grinding sound as the war machines are pulled under. You see, like, sort of pops almost, and sort of see a faint mist rise from both as they're just, like, pulled under and essentially devoured by the treads of your war machine. 2 kills.
Hey.
Add him to the wall. Add him to the wall.
we need someone to do a critical role stats thing for our group. Just to see who has the most kills.
Oop, that's not correct.
Oh. Cool. And then EV3 can't really do anything because there's no one on the bridge right now. So it is whatever Rhea and Siobhan are doing. Of course.
Yeah, Siobhan, what are you up to?
Well, after that entire scene, let's see, who is still alive currently? Cause she'll just let Jaco and Jeremy handle it until such a time occurs that they require assistance and she's in range to give it to them. So she's gonna go back to this ballista and aim for these bad boys over here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to strike. That war machine is underway, but well within your range.
Oof, that's 10.
That ballista bolt, boom, boom, falls short, unfortunately, as the war machine is beginning to pick up speed as it pulls away from you.
Siobhan does that thing, but she already did her one cool thing. She's content.
Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't need to hit anything else for the rest of this.
Honestly, I'm gonna see how stupid Ray is feeling.
Oh no.
That's never good. Why do you have to say
Very stupid.
that? No.
Go crazy. Die young.
No.
Angst. 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 I would like some hurt comfort. Name her.
No!
Kill her.
Stop!
No.
Studying his face. I'm
Yeah.
middlingly proficient with Jasonisms.
Yeah, she's gonna do it. So,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
so she is going to go ahead and sort of get off of the ballista here, and she is going to utilize a running start as prescribed by D&D 5e jump rules,
Oh no.
and
Lord.
will jump off of the top of the war machine, will hit the ground about halfway in between the two war machines. I need someone to roll me 2d6.
Siobhan.
I'll do it.
And then-
Siobhan's dice.
And then
I
she will utilize her action to dash.
So that's gonna be a 6.
Okay. I will add that to her sheet.
Fear.
She's fine. And then she will use her action to dash and will cover the rest of the space and get up upon this war machine.
She's such a crazy bitch.
And will pull out her fucking two-handed sword that she's far more adept at using than a goddamn ballista. And that will end her turn.
And it's
This
the
is-
sort of sends you to hell.
The sort of sends you directly to hell.
And that also means that she is off the war machine central, so she will roll her own initiative.
This is exactly why when Jeremy was like, "Oh, Ray is so reserved."
Why?
Anyways,
Ray is fucking crazy.
Ray is
Ray is
insane.
like, I'm gonna do what I'm good at. By myself.
I'm sure that Jeremina's chiding had nothing to do with her decision. Okay. Um, let's see. Did we cover everybody that is aboard the war machine after Marty crushed those two warband members to death?
I think that was everyone.
Okay.
Yes. Well,
Coolios.
save for Evie-3, who's being told to sit on her thumb.
Awesome. All right, so that concludes Marty's turn. Rhea would theoretically be next, but she has gone this round, just having rolled a new initiative. All right, it is one of the Jackal Weir's turns in the central war machine that is now stranded. It will utilize half its movement to stand up and the rest of its actions to grab a spear. Because it's pathetic. That will conclude its turn. Jeremina, it is your turn. You have before you two weir rats, sort of hybrid man-rat people, and then beyond them, a bunch of sort of hybridized man-animal people who seem very pathetic and are putting on hodgepodge armor, and then way on the other side of the war machine, basically a entire length of your war machine away, you see Ragadraga sort of dragging his axe along the floor, cussing at these individuals in Infernal, which you would at least colloquially understand, if not explicitly, trying to rouse them to battle. He does not appear to have seen you.
Hey, sweetheart. I'm
Yes.
Jacob, baby. There's nobody on here you want left alive, like no sweethearts or anybody you were good on.
No, and Mordenkind. Roast them.
Oh, perfect. I love the sound of that. Now, sweetheart, were your friends here particularly wise? Did they make good decisions? Did they drink a lot of fatty foods before bed?
They're listening to a person who barely scream.
That is so spectacular to hear. Jermina, holding out her amulet of Zariel, she's ignoring the rare rats. They are not anything to her. And she is instead looking down the hallway, going to pick out like the meatiest looking guy. Maybe one of the Jackawares that's like has most of the armor on.
So to be clear, the Jackal Weirs look more pathetic than the Weir Rats, and the beefiest guy beyond the Weir Rats is Ragadraga himself.
Okay.
A crew of pathetic men.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still gonna pick down one of the Jackalwares.
I was saying, did
do
Jeremy
it.
get the hint?
I'm going to single one of them out and holding the amulet of Zariel. I am going to say, an infernal. I am an emissary of Zariel, of the good angel Zariel. And I am. Fuck, forgot the word. Whatever. Kill your friends, dumbass. And I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, go ahead. And, oh no, I have to make save. I have to make save. They're not particularly wise. Does a 2 save?
No, it doesn't.
My God.
No,
All
it doesn't.
All right. So with that, I'm going to pick this one that was in the middle of the other two because
Yes.
that seems as though it would have been the wisest play. I'll go
Okay.
ahead and give him a little doohickey. That says frozen, but he is not frozen. He's actually very angry now at those around him.
I think what happens is as Jermina casts the spell, I'm imagining there's just like this brief conflict between them like Jeremina's command and his willpower. And I mean, obviously, Jeremina wins out. But the Crown of Madness looks like her horns, but like fully grown, like kind of, I mean, so big that they're beginning to like arch back and into the skull of the jackal. And fuck, that does end my concentration of Shield of Faith. Jeremina goes, sorry, baby. And she is going to use, yeah, that's it. She'll end her turn. I mean, she's gonna move up closer to like the were-rats, at least get like in front of Jaco.
Okay, yeah. So what you see before you is essentially a barred wall, and there's like a 5-foot door frame. Essentially, you could theoretically put yourself in it, and it would separate Jaco from literally all beyond the precipice. If that's what you're interested in doing.
I'm absolutely interested in that.
Okay.
I would know that Jaco can cast spells around me, right?
Yeah, so I mean, you've had experience with casters knowing that their ability to see things or be able to pass spells through a wall, through space. One could absolutely do that through this barred wall that exists here.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremina will body block the door, putting her feet down firmly. All right. That will conclude my turn.
Okay. With that, one of the weir rats finally separating itself, untangling its arms from the mess of bars before you. It does appear to have some sort of like blood or ichor running down its face. It is injured, likely due to the absolute madness that Siobhan brought on this war machine. It will reach down to its belt and draw a dagger, and will chitter at you and sort of like toss the dagger back and forth, and will try to stab you. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Okay. And then it tossing the dagger to its other hand, it sticks again, so I'm assuming a 21 hits.
I'm going to, at the first attack, cast Hellish Rebuke as a reaction.
Okay.
Activating... Sorry, go on.
No, it does 3 points of piercing damage, and then that flame sort of licks up against it. Go ahead and roll that Hellish Rebuke damage.
Did it fail its dexterity?
It might actually make that one. Let me roll that. Saving throw. I'll just roll it over here. An 18 to save.
Okay. So it's only going to take 4.
Okay.
All right. And as Jeremina, it stabs at her, I think, getting in between the links of her armor, and she's gonna say, "Go fuck yourself."
It goes, and then we'll stab at her again.
Casting Hellish Rebuke, as the flames flick up from the ground, Jeremina's aura just like naturally sucks it back. She's going to activate the flames of Pelagos, and he's stabbing for the second time. Is going to take 1d4 damage.
Okay. Alright, cool. He takes 2, and you take 5 piercing.
Alright. Oh, Flames of Pelagos lets me reroll a 1 on fire damage dice. I did get a 1 on the Hellish Rebuke. Is it too late to reroll that, or...
Go ahead and reroll it, yeah. That's fine.
You.
I'll just.
You have the best DM ever.
Right? No, real. Okay, 5 plus 6.
So four additional, right?
Okay.
Okay. Easy enough. Okay. As it tosses the dagger back and forth between its hands, it jabs and lashes at you, and you feel it cut you, and just sort of there's bursts of flame erupting in front of you that it is not a big fan of. It is harmed very significantly by this, on top of the physical damage that it has suffered from the eruption of the explosion that Siobhan brought upon the war machine. I would ask if there's anything else, because you really did more damage that turn than it did, but that was actually its turn, so we will punch forward to one of the Jackal Weirs here. Actually, it's not any Jackal Weir. It's the Jackal Weir. So, in this instance, this Jackal Weir has Crown of Madness on. What is it going to do here? It will attack the nearest thing to it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all of these guys were struggling with their armor and spears. But regardless of what state of that it was in, it is going to pick up its spear and will stick one of the Jackal Weirs nearest to it. Go ahead and roll a d20, Bish. Since this is
Can.
a 10. That was 10 flat, so we add ourselves a +2. So that was a 12. That meets the armor class, so meets it. Go ahead and roll a d6 +2 for damage, as this Jackal Weir with its Crown of Madness lashes out at the one just behind the Weir rats that are now threatened.
6.
6. Oh man. So as you watch this from behind, like the blasts of flame that are just like erupting up, you see one of the Jackal Weirs that was like struggling with the buckles on its armor. You see your Crown of Madness overtake it, and it just sort of takes its spear and it looks at it. It turns towards the Jackal Weir closest to you, sort of between the Weir rats and the one that you have Crown of Madness, and it just and the Jackal Weir that is struck just sort of like falls down on all fours, and it's still alive, but like it is struggling, it is crawling, it is trying to get back up as the Jackal Weir that has just struck it is really in a defensive position, and a single additional strike will likely kill this thing. So now it rolls to save again, correct, at the end of its turn?
Yep.
That is a natural 20. So, seeing its comrade sort of struck down by its own spear, you see that that crown sort of fizzle and fade away, and it sort of steps away from its spear, which stays in place because it's sticking out of the back of its friend, and it sort of panics and just like rips it out, which is probably not the best course of action, but they're not the brightest.
Yeah. Nobody listens to me. Jacob, can you blow those motherfuckers up?
You have to move us for a little bit.
Okay.
I gotta wait for my fucking turn.
Sorry.
Oh, it's not your, dude, it's the rolls.
I know. It do be like that. Okay. It is Ragadraga's turn.
Rob Zombie starts playing in the background.
Yeah, he's trying to dig through the ditches and burn through the witches, if I'm honest.
I'm bumping it right now.
Alright, so... Oops. that concludes that Jackalweir's turn. We're on to Ragadraga's turn. Seeing sort of this like hallway of death, and just like just kind of honestly y'all's sheer entrance, I think he's thinking better of it. Because despite being kind of dumb, he's kind of the least dumb person here. So he's actually going to go up the stairs and ascend to the deck, even though this war machine can't move. He's going to utilize his full movement plus a dash to get up here. So he's no longer in y'all's line of sight. Y'all only see Weir Rats and Jackal Weirs from here to the stairs. For those on the deck, I think the only one who may be able to see Ragadraga summiting is EV3, who has no means of communicating that. So Ragadraga is going to go ahead and make a tactical assessment, not necessarily a bonus or action, just kind of like a general vibe of the battlefield, and that will probably conclude his turn. He just wanted to get out of that hallway.
Of course he did.
All right.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah. Now, listen. If there is one thing that is true about any fantasy or action movie product, don't stand in the hallway. All right. This war machine was crushed to death by Marty, which brings us to this Jackal Weir, who is going to, seeing his friend having stabbed that friend, move to the other side of the hallway. Jeremina is blocking the door, and he only has one spear. He's going to contemplate throwing it, but is instead going to ready his action. If anything comes within 5 feet of him, he's going to poke it with the spear. Okay, this is our one alive Devil's Ride. Oops. The one single person rider, sort of motorcycle style war machine. It is going to continue around the now derelict war machine to get out of the way of Marty as a driver, essentially. Whoops. I gave it elevation. God damn it. It is not 120 feet in the air. Okay. Alright. Alright. Jaco, it is your turn as I fix my orientation on these two war machines I just moved.
Hello. Oh, there we go. All right. So, Jaco's going to run up just behind Jeremina. Do his best to respectfully not touch her legs, as he is small enough to be between them, and just yell out, "Hey, you dumb fucks! I told you he's an idiot!" And he's gonna snap his fingers and cast a fireball in the center of the thing. It's going to.
Can I make a humble request?
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Can the fireball be from, like, it's Jaco collecting the flame aura Jeremina has and sending that out condensed?
Okay, I can do that, and I have a funny way of doing it, but I need to make you sure you understand it's in all respect, okay?
Yeah, go for it. No, I'm scared now though, actually.
No, it's not
Go
bad.
for
It's
it.
not that bad. He's going to say that, and what he's gonna do is basically put it on her upper thigh near her ass cheek, and you're gonna see come down his hand, basically collecting around, and he's going to aim underneath her, and it's gonna shoot out from between her legs and explode. It's going to get everybody but this rat right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it about.
All right, cool. So they all need to make dexterity saving throws, correct?
Button. Cast,
Yeah, go ahead and
cast
roll some damage.
Oh wait.
Special team attack. Coochie fireball.
Coochie fireball. Okay,
Good
so it's
lord.
20, not 30.
Suddenly, Pitbull starts playing in the background.
This is 305. Okay, so it's not going
Listen,
to
we
be...
have to find out where Pitbull is. He's been hiding his location in songs for years, okay?
Alright, so it's not going to be the back jackal. It's going to be right there. It's going to be all...
Okay.
I'm mistaken. I thought it was 30, not 20.
Okay,
Roll a DC.
Alright, well... They're not particularly adept at this, if I'm honest, so let's see what we got.
The dex save, though, isn't it?
And don't forget, one guy's on the floor.
Yep. Alright, so we've got first boy here, 15.
Save.
Okay, what's your damage, though?
29.
29, so half would be
15.
15? Okay, so this guy succeeds but dies.
Let's go. Wait, does that mean they all die if 15 is a half?
So this guy succeeds but dies.
Let's go.
Whoop, check here. This guy succeeds but might survive. Hold on. Nope, he dies.
I'm gonna say.
Where's my other jackal here? That'd be floating around here somewhere. There we go. Dead. Alright, so we got some weir rats, which are the real problem here, if we're honest.
One of them has to die because he.
First one rolls a
Come on.
12.
On the dot.
So saves it.
Yes.
Yeah.
DC 12.
So half damage, which half damage is
15.
okay. So he dies.
Hey.
Okay, and then last one, if he makes it, he'll survive.
Come on, please be the one fucker that doesn't.
4 on the die, so that I believe makes 6.
Let's go.
So that was 27?
29.
29. Alrighty. Lamau, I guess. We're at dead. So as you cast this spell, you sort of past and or through Jeremina in whichever way is okay and acceptable in the context in which you describe the spell. It sends forward, hits the point in space and time that you elected, and there is sort of a momentary sort of pause and then a whoop, and the space fills with fire. It swirls, and Jeremina, as you watch that swirl occur, just you can kind of see each figure, each individual person, humanoid, shifter, theriomorph, whatever you want to call them. You see them silhouetted in the flame, and then they just slowly dissipate into just a mixed and slurried flame, which eventually winks out in the exact position that Jaco had started the spell.
I guess we'll have to find out how I react.
Cool.
My turn.
That is indeed exactly what we will have to wait for. Next, we have one of the war machines, which is not yet gone. It is actually going to do a crossover maneuver with this other war machine here. So we're going to see it come this direction, and its crew is going to follow along with it. Which Jackalweir is this? We still have an alive Jackalweir?
Yeah,
I know, it's as surprising to you as it is to us.
He's right here.
Oh, that guy is cowering in a corner. He is going to use his action and movement to join Ragadraga atop the war machine. After watching all of his friends become literal ash. So he's going to come up here. Okay, so with that, we are, I believe, back to the top of the order with all of those remaining on the player war machine on Marty's initiative count. I will fix the orientation of this war machine. Marty, what are you doing?
Cool. So this one down here is the one that Rhea got on, right?
The one to the bottom left, yes.
Yes. What Marty is going to do is she's going to start circling around that one specifically, just sort of like harrying it away from the others and making sure Rhea is like basically like singling off the prey, basically.
Sure. Okay.
Are we the baddies?
Nah, we're fine.
Yeah, the baddies.
I'll be honest, I can't see where Rhea is on this map. This map is really
I can't
fucking
either, which is why I had to ask.
So Rhea is down here upon this war machine. This one that is here.
Must be under the
Okay.
thing because I can't see.
Yeah.
I only
Rhea-
see
So-
the three.
Rhea is buried underneath the war machine. Fucking rip, dude.
Sorry.
You know, our little
So my understanding, Marty, is you have. Where are you moving the war machine to?
she would be moving it in roughly this direction.
Okay. Are you just going 100 feet and conserving your action?
Yes. I think
Okay.
she will hold her action to dash to like continue to cause problems for this fucker. Should it try to. So like yeah, so she's taking 100 feet and then she is holding her action to follow it in whichever direction it decides to go.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, we'll call that close enough.
Looks good to me.
Siobhan, you're still aboard, yes?
Yes, she is.
Okay, and all of these... Whoop! Oh, no.
Oh, we're shipless. Oh, fuck.
Oh
Yeah,
god!
Hold on, I'll put it back.
You better. You need that.
No, we're left scrambling upon a totally not Martian desert, trying to get another war machine.
Ah, crap.
Technically, do have 40.
Yeah. 3
I do-
kamikazes and
You do?
I do. This is kind of the one uppy roll 20 has, which is grouping and undo.
Yeah.
There's probably a mod for that though.
There probably is. I haven't found it yet, which is a problem. That is far too big, but that's fine.
Nonsense. This looks fine.
Everyone is crushed. It's over.
Oh god!
Oh, God.
Moving.
Everyone but Jeremy.
That
and
shit.
the
Oh,
character.
Jesus Christ. When did our ship get so big?
We
I was like-
upgrade. It grew with all the experience points Jaco just earned us.
A fucking size upgrade.
When you were like, "Oh, it's big," I was like, oh, "Okay, it's gonna be like, I don't know." No, that was big.
Yeah, I don't think how much you understand. Like, I sit here and like fuck around with widths and heights of things to make sure that like everything works. Generally speaking, I still think it's a little too big. It's closer though. There we go. All right.
Now let me do the pew-pews.
Yes, you may do the pew-pews. Which vehicle are you targeting? Not the one that Rhea's on, or the one that Rhea is currently on?
Well, if I aim at the one that Ray is on, the bolts are technically non-explosive. So,
True.
You are able to provide backup.
I am able to provide backup. So that'll mean shuffling probably to the one. I'll wait till you're finished.
It's done. It's done.
It's done.
We're
Okay.
done. We're done. I promise.
So it'll be on this. It'll be on this ballista right here.
Oogly doogly. Go ahead and roll the hit.
Finally, that's a nat 20.
That will.
Finally, you've been rolling them all night.
That's your second nat 20, but that will certainly hit. Go ahead and roll damage, which for a light ballista, I believe is 3d6 or 3d8. Give me 2 seconds.
Whatever it's gonna be 6 instead.
No, I mean with the ballista, because with the ballista I've been rolling ass.
Ah, I see. Makes more sense.
Okay, so on your crit with a ballista, that will be 2d8, thusly doubled to 4d8 damage.
27.
27.
That's-
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, 27.
On this week's episode of Oops, I Blew Up My Girlfriend.
Nice. So let me just go ahead and mark off that damage. Mars, go ahead and roll me a d20.
Oh, jeez.
The hurt
Okay.
comfort is gonna be delicious.
15.
Shut up.
15. Okay, cool. So you wheel around the ballista and bring it to bear. You see Rhea sort of drawing her sword and getting it ready to cleave the members of the crew of this particular war machine to the best of her ability. You fire this ballista, and it sort of strikes very true, much in the same way as your javelin throw did, where it sort of snakes in between the war machine's own ballista into its engine, and you sort of see it hit, and then you see the shaft of the ballista bolt just get sort of tossed around in circles, and you see the armor around the motor or the engine gets sort of like tossed asunder, and it just sort of like begins shedding. It seems as though this sort of the sensitive areas of this war machine may be easier to hit. Rhea is okay. Having ducked as that detritus just gets tossed over the backside of her head.
Can you give me a ping as to where Rhea is?
Yeah, she is on this war machine over here.
Okay.
And that is the war machine that you just struck with the ballista bolt.
Nice.
You do still have another attack which you can use to load the ballista, or you can use it in some other way. It's up to your choice.
So I'm going to say she reloaded this one, so this one's loaded, and so she's gonna reload that one. Yeah, she's gonna reload that one. This one right here.
Okay, fair enough. You do have a bonus action. Anything you want to do with that?
I'm looking at the range of certain spells. But almost everyone except Marty is out of range. So no.
Okay. For those on the player war machine, everybody's used everything that they want to do. Marty, did you have anything else?
Marty will see Shaban sort of like looking between everyone, and that who can I cast a spell on thing. And she'll be like, yeah, I had the same problem last time we got in a battle like this. And that'll be her turn.
Okay.
Struggle.
Fair enough. It is Rhea's turn. She is aboard this freaking thing over here, and she's got a whole mess of buddies and friends over here with her. So I guess since she's aboard with all of these chuckleheads, they will all roll combat since they're within player range. And she's gonna hit the weird rat. Okay. Man, dice. I have so many fucking tabs open. She is so much better at this than Ballista. Okay. So that is 12, 16. All right, yeah. So, especially for Shaban, who just fired a ballista bolt at this particular war machine, causing it to sort of begin to eat itself. Rhea had jumped aboard and sort of climbed along the structure of the war machine as the crew began to start manning its stations. And Shaban, you just see sort of Rhea bring her greatsword around on this one particular sort of anthropomorphized weir rat, and just give it like literally the old one too, where she brings up the sword and just like one arm gets off, and then brings it around, and the sort of half of another arm and like much of some body comes off, and it just sort of falls down. You can tell that it's suffering. It's still very much alive, but not by much. And she like levels her eyes on some of the other inhabitants of this particular war machine. She pretty much like
Nice.
two struck this one crew member and began focusing on the others. Okay. So with that, Rhea Mantlemorn's turn is over. Jeremina, you are up. You just watched a whole bunch of people get turned to dust. What are you up to?
So Ragadraga's gone upstairs.
Yes, Ragadraga and one absolutely terrified looking jackal here.
Okay, quick question. So, if I wanted to exit the ship,
Sure.
is this,
Sorry. No. So if you want to exit get back out to the Avernian atmosphere, as it were, you have essentially two exits in this space. One is directly the hole you came in, and the other one is about probably 60 feet. I'm guessing just by looking.
Yeah, it's about 60 because the middle where I killed
Yeah.
it was 30.
Yeah. So about 60 feet to the sort of almost grand set of stairs that both Ragadraga and that Jackal Weir went up. So you can either go back or you can go forward, and that's pretty much it.
Jeremy's gonna look at Jaco, and she is going to... Admiration isn't a strong enough word. It is... The look she gives Jaco is almost to worship. Like, she looks at him with such an intense emotion. And I don't think she says anything. All she does is unravel the whip from around her waist. And she's going to kind of lean over close to him, and she's gonna say, "It's Zariel. I'm doing this for you." And she is also then going to say, "Hey, can you make me go fast? Is that a thing you can do?"
Do I gotta wait my turn?
You do unfortunately have to wait your turn, as you all have rolled independent initiative at this point.
He's just gonna nod, still kind of stunned of what he did.
Speech is a free action.
He's stunned because she just said,
Okay.
basically with worshipping eyes, she said, "I'm going." He's a little confused.
Okay, I'm going to hold my turn until Jacob's turn.
You're allowed to hold her. I know that's the big thing.
Yeah, what?
So I mean, you can consume your reaction to hold an action. That action may be dash.
Would a hasted action be a part of that action?
I would say no, I don't believe so. I believe a hasted action needs to occur on your turn.
Oh, wait, and haste isn't... I'm sorry, haste isn't touch, right?
It
No,
is.
haste is...
No. 30 feet.
Is it?
Choose a willing creature you see within range.
Oh yeah, no. This actually just reminds me that anytime I cast haste as Cedrin, needing to touch people is just literally dramatic. Never mind. You're right.
Cobalt's already ahead of the game, like
Goddamn.
already too far ahead by the time you want to like put your arm on his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's either
Okay,
it's a
With that, Jermina's going to drag her fingers under Jaco's chin. She'll stand up fully, and she's going to use her full movement, going 30. Yeah, I think she bonus action Misty Steps over to the staircase, and how her Misty Step forms is that she, again, holds up the amulet of Zariel and goes, "My mom says I need to be right there," and then is there.
Just sort of enveloped in flame and then just like deposited in flame.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm going to use my action to cast Thaumaturgy, and I'm going to bellow up, magnify my voice, bellowing up the grand staircase,
Aw.
and I'm going to say, "Ragadraga, I am here for personal and business reasons. As an emissary of Zariel, we have found you lacking. The contract does not allow failure. Besides that, I do not tolerate abuse. You have victimized Jaco, and in return, I have voided your contract and deemed you dead."
Make a perception persuasion or deception with disadvantage, your choice.
Ooh, okay. Huh. Ooh, they're both the same for me. Damn. Ooh.
I would like to offer up my inspiration to make it a flat roll for Jeremina.
You certainly may.
Oh, you were delightful. I'm gonna go persuasion. Come on, what is it? Come on. Okay. 18.
18. So, from the top of the stairs, you hear Ragadraga do no more than utter, "Huh?" just sort of like a confused grunting, and you hear a scream as he drags his weapon sort of across the deck of the ship to turn to face the stairs. There's nothing more than that, but that's what occurs.
Okay.
Okay.
That ends my turn.
Sweet. It is Ragadraga's turn, and since we're in the midst of it and making a count, as he had been positioning himself to run to the opposite side of the deck of this now derelict war machine, hurl himself off and commandeer this devil's ride from his warband member, he instead elects to turn and face the staircase in confusion, and will instead choose to take his action and will hold his action if anyone comes within 5 feet of him that he deems to be threatening him. He will unleash on them. Cool. That ends Ragadraga's turn, though he is holding an action. Alright, we've got a Weirboar, who is the pilot of this particular war machine. So has already taken his action as far as the turn order goes. So this particular individual is driving this war machine, sort of taking this same sort of actions that Marty is taking. Cool. This war machine, which would have been commandeered by Ragadraga had Jeremina not passed that persuasion check, is going to continue to travel this direction with its rider aboard. Right. This machine is going to come this direction, and this machine is going to come this direction. I will correct angles as Jaco goes, because it is Jaco's turn.
Okay. Jaco, seeing all the piles on the ground, go plenty. And he's going to walk the 30 feet towards Jeremina, hearing the boisterous loudness of Jeremina's voice go, I feel like there's going to be a talk later. And he's going to throw his hands out, and what you're going to see with Jaco is a black tendril dust, kind of, as he casts haste, and you see it wrap around her feet like ankle bracelets, and she feels way faster than she before. You now get +2 to AC, advantage on dex saving throws, and you get an additional attack, and your speed is double.
Hell yeah.
And does that prompt a reaction from you, Jeremina?
I
know we had talked about it, I'm just clarifying.
Nope, doesn't. Nope, no, she already used all of her business.
Okay, just checking.
I mean, her reaction is she's very pleased.
Okay, fair enough. Jaco, anything else as you sort of whip up this spell around Jeremina to increase her speed?
He's going to take his 30 feet, however far that takes him.
Okay.
About here for now, and basically just starts sizing up Shackles. Look, like their bodies look fit enough.
Fair enough. I think you would imagine that most of them would look fair enough.
Okay. And that's the end of Jaco's turn.
Okay, cool enough. Cool, that ends Jaco's turn. So we are then to this particular war machine, which will go ahead and take its movement. And it is moving in a straight line. So it is just going to come in this direction. All good. Cool. And then that brings us to this war machine, which is being driven. No, it's already moved this round, hasn't it? I want to say no, because we just came around to it. But the weird boar is driving. It's this chucklehead. Give me 2 seconds. I feel like we're missing somebody. Oh, no, we're not. He'll be soon. Okay, cool. Given Marty's angle of engagement, it will go ahead and move down here, and it will be sort of breaking away from the direction that you're traveling, Marty.
Thankfully, I held my action to chase after this bitch.
That you did! So it's going to move more down this direction. It has a suffering weir-rat, a weir-boar driver, and another figure that is threatening Rhea. What would you like to do in response?
Follow it, like, continue to, like, harry it in this direction.
So are you trying to, like, keep pace with it, sort of, like, side by side?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like,
cool
think Tron light cycles.
Sure thing. So kind of here with an angle adjustment?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. We'll try this. Perfect. Alright, so your held action goes off, and the war machine moves. No. There's so many. That is the one thing about Roll20. Their layers system is so goddamn better. It is literally
layers on layers.
It is literally the only thing I like more about Roll20 is the layer system. And yeah, Siobhan, you're still shooting ballistic bolts, correct?
Yep, going pew pew.
Yep. Okay, cool. So wow, what a we've got a Jackal Weir. That's our Jackal Weir here, who is currently I'll say will fall in line behind Ragadraga with an additional held action if Ragadraga is threatened, because he's a company man. This weir rat is literally dying, so they're going to move away from Rhea to the best of their ability. And I guess she'll expend a reaction to try to fucking kill it.
Hell yeah.
And she does. Just sort of like, she 1, 2, and then as it like falls down to the ground and starts like trying to get away, she just like thwomp, and it's done. It literally had 1 HP left. She came so close to killing it. Okay, is dead. Alright. These are my coupled in with Marty, and Marty just used her held action, which wildly becomes her action as she is still the top of the order. However, I'm going to say we will take a quick 5-minute break right here, and we will be right back. Just so everybody can
Recuperate.
Sorry about
Bio
that.
break.
I would have waited.
No. It was. I just wanted to get to the end of the order.
Okay. We'll be
This is mostly for me, if I'm honest.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Dyson Dynamics. I am not going to go on another pronoun round, but I just want everyone to know that Ragadraga's pronouns are was/alive.
Damn, I was expecting a was-were, but all right.
Yeah.
Um,
I like that one.
So, with that, we are at the top of the order. Despite your held action, Marty, to maneuver the war machine into a pretty prime firing position between these two war machines, it is now your turn, armed with all of your actions, bonus actions, and movement. What would you like to do?
Marty is going to let Siobhan do her thing first and make a decision based on how that goes.
Okay. Yeah, so if you are local to the War Machine, which essentially is basically Marty, Siobhan, and EV3 at this point, you all can come to a gentle person's agreement on order of fire. So if Siobhan goes first, Siobhan goes first.
So Siobhan is going to be running across to this one and shooting at this bad boy here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to strike. And this one was already loaded, so there's no need to reload, initially speaking.
Using my bonus action to reload and just, oh god, oof.
Well, actually, both the ballistas that you're bouncing back and forth between are loaded. So you could actually theoretically fire on this one and run across and fire on the other one and load neither, if that was your preference. So.
I could do that.
Oh,
Do the machines explode if they die?
Not
or does that depend on the roll?
Not that you have observed so far. You do know that the machine that Jaco was on did explode. It is similar in form to these ones, but also these ones they have. Yeah, they are slightly different enough to a degree that you are not sure.
Okay. Then yeah, for her second action, she's gonna see that shot go wide, swear under her breath, run back to this bad boy, and do another pew.
Okay.
Oof.
Oof.
That was long. Oof. Ow.
Choom, choom. Sending ballistas in both directions. You pull Rhea numbers, tossing tossing bolts like over the hood of both war machines. That was your action. If you would like to utilize your bonus action for anything, you can certainly do that.
Marty, I'm going to at least do one thing right. And, you better not get fucking hit. And I just want to
try
get
not to.
a nice little sanctuary on Marty.
Thank you.
Nice.
And that's going to be your turn.
All right, cool. Yeah, if there is one rule of driver-driven heist films, it is protect your driver. So, phenomenal. With that, Marty, did you have anything else you wanted to do? Hold your
Yes.
action, etc., etc.?
That inspired me, as I was hoping it would. Marty, as her bonus action, is going to command EV3, who's going to lean over her shoulder and say, EV3, keep those ballistas loaded, and have EV3 go and load one of the ballistas.
Okay, fair enough. Which one? The one that is on the right side or the left side?
This one.
Okay, that is the one that Siobhan is on right now. Who matters to you?
I think that would be fine.
Okay, fair enough. Evie.
Yeah, because regardless, attacks are going to be spent if she tries to load again.
All right,
Yeah.
EV3 will go ahead and begin loading the ballista, utilizing its non-blood magic arm to pull back the bowstring and using its blood magic arm for the far more delicate task of placing the bolt in place for the purposes of firing. So EV3 has loaded that particular ballista.
Cool. And then Marty is going to do something mildly dangerous and pull the war machine in front of this guy to try to chicken it into turning.
Okay, so you're thinking like moving.
Yeah, I want this guy to move counterclockwise.
Okay, so you're
So I want to sort of force it to go that way.
sure. So if I were to move the machine here,
Yeah.
but point its nose to the right, that would be pretty much correct.
That is correct.
Okay. Math class. There we go.
That works. Well,
Okay.
good.
Phenomenal.
I wonder if I can get to run over the.
I mean, with your passive level of knowledge of artifice, you would think that running over such a thing would cause an explosion.
Really good.
Okay. Sweet. Anything else, Marty?
That was Marty's action-ish, and her bonus action. So that will be it.
Cool. Alrighty then. So, closing out. Siobhan, you didn't have anything else, correct?
Nope, that was it.
All right, cool. Just wanted to be sure. All right, we are to the hybrid werewolf that is on the machine that Rhea is on, which is going to, with its Weirboar now piloting this craft, going to go ahead and attack Rhea.
Maybe this isn't going to end well for us.
Okay. Dice. I swear to God. Thank you. Okay. Coolio. For those observing, you see this large wolf-like creature bear down on Rhea and swing its claws at her and snap its jaws. And she seems to hold her own, sort of utilizing her great sword both in a offensive and defensive capability, placing her hand against it a couple times to brace against some of its assaults. Things happen. Who knows? It's Rhea's turn. She will go ahead and push off from that defensive posture, swing her sword around, and begin to work on this werewolf. Natural 20 and a 17. So she'll smite on that first one for sure.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Does someone want to roll me 4d8?
Oh,
Mars.
Jesus. Alright, let's go.
Yeah, she's putting her top level slot into it.
Oh,
You
Glorious.
said 48?
Yeah.
Where are you?
She does hit on the second one, but it's not a crit.
Okay. 10, 17.
Sorry. Wait, real quick. You said top level smite? Do you mean like second level?
Oh shit, you're right.
66.
6d6?
Yep.
These guys are fiends, right?
No, not even that. It's a spell slot level, I believe is Fish's point.
Um.
Because
I know
there's nothing special about werewolves as far as smites go, to my knowledge.
Yeah, no, I know this because I am about to use all of my second level smites. Draga stay really bad.
Okay.
So I'm just playing the trailer for you right now. That's what you're saying.
So that's gonna be 10, 12, 22 points of damage.
All right, Coolio. Holy shit!
You said 66, right?
No, you. This is my rule about Rhea as a paladin. I only smite when I crit. So fuck. Shit. So for those observing what happens, there is a exchange of blows, and Rhea comes from a position of sort of using her sword to brace against those various attacks, and then sort of swings it around, and the first hit just sort of full bodied across sort of underneath the werewolf's arm as it begins to bear down on her again, and it's just like whoa, and it is an eruption of radiant light as it happens, and it fades briefly. And for those watching, you see her bring her sword around again, and then there is no light, and it just sort of takes the creature's head off at the base, just sort of. She needed between her two attacks, she needed 53 and she got 57. So because she is swinging with a great sword, which also hits heavier on a crit. So
Watching from afar, Siobhan gets. You know how in anime, they get like those little, like not full blown blush, but like the little 3 lines on their cheeks.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Glorious.
again,
Yes.
this fight is just far too convenient with the level of crits and how they're happening. It's wild. Okay. So that werewolf is dead, despite having just had its turn. That was Rhea's turn. Jeremina, it is your turn.
Hi. Okay. Spurred on by the tendrils manifesting, I'm imagining this, and Mark, you can feel free to disagree, but I like the idea of the tendrils forming like an exoskeleton. Spurred on by that, she's going to take whatever it takes to get within 10 feet. And I do think she gets within 5 feet of him, but I mean, once her whip can flash out, she's using it.
Okay. Then you definitely can stay outside of his combat range if you choose to do that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think Jeremina is going to play this a little bit careful. But I'm going to hover, taking flight. I'm kind of, I think, putting her back a little against the ceiling with her wings. But she's, she's gonna beat the shit out of him with her whip.
The whip thrums in your hand as you swing to do that. So go ahead and roll some strikes. Roll to hit.
I'm not a fan of that.
Let me just double check real quick if there's anything I can do to bid for advantage. Nope. Okay. Doesn't matter. Hey, Jeremina, do not put this on, please. Baby girl. Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 8, 18, 22.
Okay. 2 of those will hit.
Okay. I'm going to use I mean, she's second level smiting on both. So that is going to be, I will get my damage. 7. Okay, 4. No. Okay. Second.
11.
Sure.
Oh,
I'm going to re-roll that 1.
Go ahead.
Fuck you.
39.
Jesus. That smite just picked up everything.
Okay. Yep, just double checking. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for her action. Yep, since she did the flame damage, she'll, bring back the flames of Pethelagos surrounding herself. Oh wait, actually she cannot do that because it says spell. So what she's going to do is Sorcery Point, Quicken, Firebolt. And she's not earnestly trying to hit,
Sure.
and that is.
You never
with-
know, though.
It is with disadvantage, right? Because melee. Wait, it isn't. I'm 10 feet away. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, 13.
Let me check on that. Because I think that'll be close. Where the goddamn is AC on this chart? What year is it? Holy shit, that hits.
Oh shit.
Are you shitting me?
You notice as you get close that some of Ragadraga's armor looks a little cobbled together, we'll say.
So how much damage, Sam?
It was 39 on the first one.
Plus
I-
15?
I've got the 39, so don't worry about that.
Alright,
Okay.
so
Plus 15, so that brings us to 44? Wait, 54? Wait,
54.
Don't worry about it. I'm tracking it.
Fish likes to know the number.
I know. I'm also bad at math, which is why I track it live. But I also can't tell you what your total was. Actually, no. Actually, I may be able to. Give me 2 seconds. Though I don't think Jeremy's turn is over yet. You're at 50. You're at 54 damage total so far.
yep, okay, that was my action. Bonus action.
That fire damage just hit.
Okay, and Jeremina is going to move forward.
Okay.
Get within 5 feet. Does he attack me?
Yes, he would.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're going to do.
Wait a second. Yeah. He'll just use his normal weapon for now. That is a 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
He's going to take 1d4 fire damage.
Okay, you take 15 bludgeoning damage as he brings his axe sort of like wide ways across your face. So not the blade, but just like the fucking flat of the axe. Thwomp. So 1d4 fire damage, so just one?
Yep, just one.
Okay.
Okay. And then, as my reaction, I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Sure.
30. Dex save on your part, Jason.
Okay. He is predictably not very dexterous.
Come on.
That is a natural 1. Modify. Wait, hold on. Modified by +0, so it is 1.
Holy shit. 7 plus 8, that is going to be 15
Another 15.
fire damage on top.
Okay.
So you're at 69 again.
Nice. Would you like to fully narrate how that just happened, or would you prefer me to?
This is a
It is not a kill shot. It is not a kill shot, but it is a fucking impressive amount of damage on a dude that was absolutely not expecting. So, if you would like to narrate some of that, you are more than welcome to, or I will go ahead and do it.
Jeremina lunges forward, and I mean, just kind of flying up the staircase and flares out her wings, catching herself just 10 feet shy of Ragadraga and bringing the lash across her thigh, kind of like someone cleaning the knife off while they're cooking, and just the first lash goes wide. I think she clearly misjudged the reach of her tip, but she corrects, and the last two, I mean, strike true, hitting at exposed parts of the armor. I mean, she's going for like absolutely dirty, like the inner thigh, the armpits, things that hurt, things that sting. And as she's doing that, she's collecting the fire, the smolder from around her, and just lighting him on fucking fire. And she flicks out, pointing with her finger, and goes, bang, bang. Mockingly, like clearly not intending it to hit, but I think it catches him like square in the face. And she'll hover there for a second, then move close to him. He swings at her. She gets hit. I mean, it's like a really solid hit. It does, I think, take out some rings in her armor. But she'll, bracing her heels and her feet against his chest, like move, push off of him, and then cast Hellish Rebuke. And just absolutely fuck up the guy. And then she'll say, over her shoulder, Jaco, he's yours.
All right, fair enough. And as you sort of wall up and raise the flame against him, he sort of gets walloped back, and now it's his turn. He is within 5 feet, I believe, correct? Okay, so you see for a moment where he runs his hand across his forehead, where there is sort of a like a crown or circlet type thing, and he thinks about it. After striking you across with the flat of his axe, he brings it around and just begins to carry that momentum through to strike you, or strike at you twice. So he is going to roll to hit you twice. Dice. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That is a.
Don't forget your AC.
Yes, thank you.
That is a 16 to hit.
Doesn't.
Okay. Well, if a 16 doesn't hit, then I assume an 8 doesn't hit. So he just sort of charges at you, sort of unloading, slashing this axe at you wildly. And you, whether by the deftness of your actions or by deflecting the blow with your whip tied betwixt your hands, are able to basically stop him. He seems to be very focused on attacking you and doesn't seem to make any yeah, nope, and no bonus action. So yeah, he just swings at you twice. You're able to either deflect or dodge those attacks, and that's it. Cool.
What I imagine is since the first one didn't hit because of haste, the tendril exoskeleton like moves her body physically, and the second one she's able to catch by grabbing the whip, blocking it that way. I'm just ooh Jaco and Jeremina bodying this guy.
All right. It is Weirboard Driver's time. And Marty, I would like you to roll a d20. What'd you get? You're muted.
I don't know what that number means for us, but I got a 15.
All right. Believe it or not, that's actually negligible. All right. Boop.
Uh-oh.
Nope, that's too far. There we go. All right. So, Marty, as you're maneuvering the war machine into a sort of interception pattern on this war machine that Rhea has jumped aboard and has now very quickly killed 2 combatants in this combat, you see the driver brake very hard and brake in such a way that may be dangerous, but they are able to maintain control of the war machine and sort of pull semi alongside of you. There is sort of a sense of collision almost between you. They were able to get the machine under control, but only in such a way that if you all were to continue going along your paths, you would eventually crush it beneath the tracks of your war machine. But the machine is under control. Rhea is still on top of it, bearing down upon the driver. Though now it seems as though she may be reconsidering whether she wants to be on this war machine at all. All right. Our Devil's Ride rider, who was fated to get yeeted, will just continue riding this way around this war machine long ways because they haven't seen shit, which is hilarious. This machine will start coming this way. And I'll fix the angles here in a second.
I wish we were playing in person, just so we could use like Hot Wheels.
That'd be
Right.
so great.
Gaslands, everybody. Everybody play Gaslands.
We use Bionicles and Hot Wheels.
Yeah, so this angle is actually correct. This war machine is trying to shoot around where you all are to maintain the two war machines on each side. So this is correct. Jacob,
All right.
it is your
I have an. Is the little fucking jackal still hiding in the corner?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So after Jeremina unleashed this sort of epic combo on Ragadraga, there is still this jackal weir sort of cowering.
At the bottom of the
Behind.
stairs, though, right?
No, just behind, Ragadraga, sort of like as like a second.
Oh,
almost.
he got behind him. Fuck.
Yep.
All right, that was my plan. Okay. All right, I have another plan. Keiko's gonna walk his steps. Does he manage to at least get in view on the stairs?
You've walked 30 feet, correct?
25.
25.
Yeah, you would be able to see Ragadraga and
Is she-
Jeremina
yeah, 'cause
engaged
Jeremy's on
at the top of the stairs.
Is Jeremina at the top of the like on the ceiling still in 5 feet?
She's like on his chest.
Okay.
Yeah, they are physically engaged.
Okay. Jaco is going to throw his hand out, and you're going to. I haven't used this spell in a hot minute, so hopefully this does just as good as the last time.
Good.
Scared.
Oh boy.
Okay. You're going. So when Jaco throws out his hands, you're gonna see 4 glowing diamonds in a long like a long peak, and they're gonna have flames inside of it. And you're gonna hear Jaco yell, "Hey, boss! Problem? You're not in charge." And he throws a magic missile at 2nd level.
Okay, hell yeah, roll that damage. Since he got no defense against that.
I don't know if this does it right. No, it's a 1d4. Wait, why does that say 12? I'm so confused.
Because you multiplied 3 times 4, which equals 12. So.
Are we
You're good.
doing it that way?
No. Yeah,
It's supposed to be each dart is separate, right?
yeah. So it is up to you. If you would like to roll a single dart and multiply it by the amount, that is up to you. If you would like to roll each dart separately, which is personally what I prefer, you can also do that. Whichever you prefer. I know that there's varying schools out there on that.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it the way we do it at the table. Is it a slash R or?
If you click
/R
where-
space 3 or
If
44.
if you click where it says the dart deals 1d4 plus 1, like the thing, that'll do it for you.
That's what I clicked. That's why it's saying 12 with the.
No, I'm saying.
Why is everybody rolling dice?
No, I'm showing that you can just click there.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm gonna roll all 4 at once. Here we go. Please be higher than 12. Yes!
That's pretty good.
And so he's gonna throw it, and basically, when he throws it out, all 4 darts are basically aiming at Jeremina, with Ragadraga seeing that happen, and basically he sees them split off and puncture into the sides of either side of his ribcage.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. You see them sort of traveling in concert and then just sort of breaking around Jeremina and punching into either side of Ragadraga, who growls and howls at the prospect of the very thing, and sort of brings his axe around. He does not seem very happy. He is still up, though bloodied.
As my bonus action, can I use talk?
Absolutely. The speech
Okay.
is a free action. You don't even need
Well,
to
I've
use
already
your
used
bonus action.
free action. That's what I'm saying. As a bonus action for the talking, he's going to try to get like connecting eyes with the jackal, and goes, "If you know what's good for you, you'll change sides now."
Okay. Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
What sucks is it's only +1. Here we go.
Advantage
Sure,
is
man.
advantage, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah.
30-20, baby. That's a 19.
All right, Liddy. Anything else?
No, that's all it is. You see so much confidence being off of fucking Jaco that jackal, if he knows him, never seen Jaco.
Awesome. Cool. So with the end of Jaco's turn, this war machine over here is going to begin its travel around the front of the war machine, and I'll correct the angle when I have the minute, but it should be pointed sort of more down and to the left. Okay. This war machine is the one that has basically already moved on account of the fact that we're doing it independently because Rhea is aboard, so it is moving. This is the Jackal Weir that has just been persuaded. It places a step and a half's worth of space in between it and Ragadraga. It has a ramshackle looking spear in its hand. Its armor is not buckled. It looks actually specifically at you, Jeremina, after having been sort of talked into this course of action, basically just like making sure that you're understanding what it's about to do, that like you're not going to attack it after it does what it's about to do.
Can I do something for narrative flavor?
Speech and like general vibes are a free action.
Jeremina will give a slight nod, this is a very regal, composed, like Lena Heady 300 nod.
Cool.
I like
Go ahead and roll this Jackal Weir at D20.
To do it?
That's you. That's all you.
Okay.
Whichever one. It's up to you guys.
Modifiers or just leave it?
Just roll me a flat. I'll tell you whether or not.
An 11. That's close.
Okay.
Please get
No,
it.
well, no. Ragadraga is where I literally.
A 12 hit, dude.
Yeah. The guy's got no armor whatsoever.
Let's go.
Not including any sort of.
Yeah, the modifier is +2, so it hits. So that'll be a D6 plus +2 damage on Ragadraga as this Jackal Weir spears it.
3 damage.
Okay. Ragadraga takes
Does
3
jackals
damage.
have pack tactics?
They do not, unfortunately.
Damn. I'm trying to skip every point.
This Jackal Weir is definitely in self-preservation mode, especially after being essentially afforded an offer to not die. So it is, for lack of a better term, behave. All right. Back to the top of the order. Marty at the helm of our player-driven war machine.
Okay. I want to stay close so that way we can pick up Rhea immediately when she's done. But we're gonna get smushed in a second. Bonus action, EV3 is going to load another one of those ballistas.
Okay, I believe the one currently that EV3 is near has already been loaded.
Yes.
So, which ballista would you prefer to be loaded? The one across over here?
The one across.
Okay. EV3 can absolutely do that. Once again, using its non-blood magic arm to pull it back, and using its blood magic arm to lay the ammunition in.
One magic fight and one for love.
That's what it is.
And then what Marty is going to do is she's going to course correct a little bit, just to make sure the one that she's been harrying doesn't immediately run into them at least a bad angle. She's fine with the side swipe.
Okay.
But, yeah, trying to soften that angle a little bit.
So your general idea is to, on the one that Ray is on, try to get parallel, so it's more of a shunt, less of a crunch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy enough. Are you going your full 100 movement, or are you slowing it down a little bit?
Ooh, actually, could Marty, and you'll sort of have to follow my mouse to sort of explain this.
Yep, I see it.
Could Marty get in front of this guy and then hit her brakes to get on this side of it?
Yes, but you would be giving the rear of the war machine to the war machine that Ray is on. Like, you would again need Demonicker to be able to drift it. So you could pull past it and then like hit the brakes, and like if someone were to jump off the back, you could do that. But if that makes sense, does that make sense?
Not particularly, but
I can actually move the war machine to show you what I mean. So if you were to pull over to this side,
yeah,
we're traveling. So if you were to get right here, you could give the rear of the war machine to this, but like you don't have the dexterity, as it were, to be able to like swing it around to the other side without Demonicker.
Oh, like merging over a lane as opposed to like swooping around.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
Or if you wanted to T intersection it, you could T intersection it.
Yeah. We're not going that direction. I don't think that's actually a very good idea, because I want to keep this thing from running off with Raya on it. So yeah, she'll just adjust, course correct, make sure this thing doesn't go anywhere.
Okay, so parallel, right?
Yeah, parallel.
Okay. How far parallel are you moving?
She's gonna try to stay within 10 feet of it.
Okay, so like if I were to move right here and course correct it, that would be okay?
Perfect.
Awesome.
You probably wouldn't even have to course correct.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, she wants it to turn, so this is at least a softer angle. If it does run into her, it's gonna hit this. They're both going to hit on the sides as opposed to one hitting on the head and one on the side.
Okay.
Not getting this way.
Fair enough. For those others, mostly Siobhan, and I believe EV3 has already taken its action, loading. Yep. So Siobhan, you are aboard the war machine.
This one's the one that's loaded, right?
Yes, and the one that you are currently manning.
Alrighty. Might as well hit that pew pew.
All right, do it up.
Ka-choo, ka-choo.
19.
A 19 certainly hits. Go ahead and roll damage. 2d8, I believe we determined the ballista.
9.
9.
Yeah, because D20 is 48.
Liddy. Yeah, so it hits the bolt strikes true. Unlike the last bolts you fired into this particular war machine, it does not swing around or cause any additional damage. It just simply sort of punches through the armor and seems to do some type of damage to something under the surface, but otherwise is okay.
Nice.
The war machine is running all right, but it definitely has damage as far as the overexposure of things go. Anything else?
You do have another ballista ready.
On the other side? Okay. Okay, is it on this one?
It's the one
or
to the left.
this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so then if that one's already loaded, she will run over there and fire that one at the this war machine.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and roll the strike.
Another 19. Okay.
Nice.
It of course hits. Same model. Go ahead and roll
Here,
damage.
though.
Yeah, you know,
Six.
like honestly, if we're real, like the 1490 models are really where it's at. Okay, 6.
You can settle for 1491 if you have to.
Yeah, it's the worst though. All right, it takes 6 points of damage. Once again, you see the bolt pierce and do apparent damage, but nothing as catastrophic as when that bolt got tossed around on the one that Rhea was frozen on. Math. Okay. Anything else, Siobhan?
That's it.
Cool. That concludes the turn of the players central to the war machine. Is there anything that I've missed? Does anyone want to utilize any resources that they have not yet?
I'm good.
Awesome. It is Rhea's turn, and she is aboard this war machine that is running parallel to the sort of larger player war machine. And she is going to go ahead and take 2 swings at the Weird War driver. Holy shit, Rhea. That was a natural 20 and a natural 19.
Bro.
So
Ray out here just claiming her vehicle.
I really didn't expect that. That was not what I was planning for. So math, I guess.
Expect the unexpected.
Holy crap. It is 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. How much does this driver have? Is she just gonna straight up delete another person? God damn.
Good for her.
Oh no, she's not. Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but cool. Oh, jeez. So yeah, you see, for those watching, which may be nobody at this point, because Siobhan shifted to the back
The
left
other one.
ballista.
I'm already pretty sure that she doesn't get too close, so she's kind of watching.
Okay, fair enough. Then Marty, you'll see sort of her bring her sword across the driver's head like twice, across the back of the neck, like with an intent to kill, like 1, 2, and then we'll see it sort of like struggle and like heft towards the controls and kind of like rule it out essentially, where she's like, okay, fucking good enough, and will utilize her movement to like tuck and roll off the back of the vehicle. She's just done with it, and will take some bludgeoning damage falling off a moving war machine, and will just sort of tuck and roll off the back. So that war machine is now free of any player characters or problems. All right.
Looking at my OBS fish, like, what the fuck is on the screen? What am I missing?
All right, Jeremina, it is your turn.
I'm killing him.
Do it!
Sorry, I got excited.
Murder him.
I'm sorry.
Do the murders. Do the murders.
Finish him.
Jeremina, I'm still like kind of now curled up against Ragadraga's chest. She's gonna look behind her and she's gonna say, "Jacob, can I kill him?"
You're in charge. You're in charge, boss. And he says that loud
Okay.
enough for the jackal.
She's such a bitch.
Shit.
She's going to kick off of his chest and pull away from him, 5 feet away. She's not disengaging, so he can take an attack of opportunity if you would like.
So she's going further than 5 feet?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, he will.
I know what you're doing, and that's fucking rude.
16 plus non. I definitely think it hits.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, plus 5, so 21 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. So 8 bludgeoning damage. Yeah.
Fucking rude.
With respect to Ragged Dragon, he is not a smart or wise man. Do I have to roll for that, Dex? Dex save?
Yes.
14.
Alright. Saving throw.
Can I just say that Termina's saved?
Ooh, actually, that may be a save. What is that? What is that? Actually, fuck. Never mind. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. 13? No, that doesn't save, I don't think. Okay.
Fine.
1 second.
Oh. One of those one.
4 plus 6, 10 fire damage.
Fire damage, okay. Alright.
Okay. And then I'm going to curl back up against his chest, and I think what she does is she doubles up the lash, so she's not like lashing out with the tip, but just like beating him across the face with like the thick of it.
The counterweight on the back.
Yeah.
Like, just like. First off, the Lash of Shadows fucking loves it. It is digging every second of it. Go ahead and roll the strike.
Damn.
That will certainly hit.
That's not quite
Damn.
That will also certainly hit.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ!
Fish got cobalt dice. Fish got cobalt dice.
Fucking A, dude.
a true paladin multi-class.
Right? 7.
Okay. Alright.
11.
Okay.
On hit high. Of 18.
Okay. Any smites on any of that?
1. I have 1 more smite.
Good.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Get his ass.
Get it.
Yes.
31.
Okay. Okay.
31. Yep.
Okay, is he dead? Because I have 1 more sorcery point.
All right. Well, as you sort of drag yourself back in. Sorry. As you drag yourself back in.
Boo.
Onto Raga Draga and pull the Lash of Shadows back. That counterweight sort of right in your hand, serving as a bludgeoning implement, and you begin whacking, pounding down on the skull of this infernal warlord. Go ahead and explain to me
Let's go.
how you end Raga Draga.
I think flossing off screen. Oh.
So she, Jeremina is a little bit below half health, or just hitting it, but she bundles up against his chest, kicks off of it, and as he brings the axe down, I think it like slices across the top of her thighs, and she, I don't even think she has to do an incantation. She just moves so quickly that the flames suck up, hit him. And I feel like with all of the fire damage, parts of his armor are beginning to melt into him. Wherever there's metal, it's just like eroding into his flesh. And she pushes back in against him, this time like climbing up his body, taking the heels of her riding boots, digging into where the armor joins, like leveraging, standing on him, and she bundles up the whip, bringing it like just tight, just bundled up in her fist, and she, bracing herself against his shoulder, brings it down against the temples, against the soft cartilage of his nose. She isn't just like brutalizing him, she is marring him. If for some ungodly reason they bring him back, they will have to reconstruct his face. And I think like what precisely did it end?
It was a smite.
It was a smite. Delicious.
Yeah, you needed 2 more HP to kill, and that's why I was like,
my God.
do you smite?
She will, and I think it's the 3rd hit, and I mean, she's tired. She's used up almost all of her resources, and as she's bringing down that 3rd hit, she thinks about how miserable Jaco looked, at how Rider Draga treated his crew, and she digs the meat, the counterweight of the whip into his eye, past into the brain cavity, and melts him from the inside out.
And as that sort of like boom, pop happens, there's like a internal sort of crunching noise as boom, you fall to the ground, and then there's a moment of silence for you. For those in the War Machine and those in other places, there is still a lot of things happening. But then, Jeremita, there's a secondary thump, a secondary sound that you didn't necessarily expect. Boom. A sound that reminds you, that harkens back to that moment where Mordenkainen picked up the War Machine and slipped it out of space to somewhere else in hell. A sort of teleportation of sorts. And you finish that and drive Raga Draga to the ground, and you feel that melt of the of his internals. And then there's that sort of follow-on thump. And for those listening, for those that hear it, which may be very well everyone, if you choose to, you look up. And as you look up, there is a 3-hulled bodied skybound ship in the sky, and there is a moored war machine in the midst of this battlefield. For those war machines that are still moving, yours, Marty, not included. You, for those looking up, for those seeing this machine in the sky, there is sort of a dispersion of things from the sky. And the 4 remaining war machines, again, Marty, yours not included. These creatures, or mechanical beings, fall. And for many of you, those who spent time in Elturel, those who saw the mechanical creatures that were guarding the bridge with their goose-like necks, their strange appendages, would recognize some of the features of these things, though, albeit many of these things very much larger, as they sort of just crush these war machines beneath their sort of large tendrils. And then there's that one little sort of like there's that one little devil's ride sort of that single rider who escaped the treads of your war machine, Marty. Just a smaller version, the same version that you all saw on the bridge in El Terrell, just sort of eventually falls down. And Marty, if you're looking up, you'll actually see sort of a bit of course correction, essentially, a bit of propulsion as it adjusts itself to the speed of the Devil's Ride, and it just boom, crushes, and just you see the infernal tires sort of distend and pop on the side, and then there's just silence, with the exception of Marty, your war machine continuing to roll if you continue to roll it. And Jeremina, there is a distortion at the front of the derelict war machine, the war machine that Siobhan so expertly tossed the treads off of. And you see a figure, about 7-ish feet tall, sort of long, sweeping horns, a very plain face, but speaking. And the figure will say, "Oh, yes, yeah, I understand. It is that way, but I do have business, and this meeting has run long, so
This motherfucker.
I'll catch up with you tomorrow. A pleasure. Bell out." And he'll tap the device hanging off of his ear, and that is where we will leave it.
Fuck.
Oh no. Okay, before we get into this, thank you everybody for coming by. Love you all. Have a good night. Goodbye.
Bye.